Welcome back. Life insurance can help create wealth for the next generation and change the trajectory of a family's future. Yet most Black Americans only purchase life insurance to cover final life expenses, such as funeral and burial costs. My guest today is Prudential financial expert Shirley Robertson, and we're going to talk about why life insurance is crucial to a comprehensive financial plan and how it's one of the many tools that can help close the racial wealth gap in the U.S. Welcome.
Welcome. Thanks so much for having me. I appreciate that.
Shirley, how can life insurance help close that racial wealth gap in the U.S.?
So, some statistics show that 41% of individuals either have no insurance or don't have enough. And, my 30 years of being in the financial services industry, what I've seen is that most folks don't realize that life insurance is a key part of the overall plan. So here's a question I ask. If anyone depends on you today, would anyone suffer financially due to your death? And if your answer to that question is yes, then you absolutely need life insurance. So think of that single parent having young children, or you are taking care of aging parents financially, or you want to make sure that if you have a business, your business continues, or here's more realistic, you're in a relationship where you make more than your partner. Let's make sure that we have life insurance to protect each other. Yet folks spend more time insuring their cars, insuring their homes, insuring their cell phones than they do insuring themselves.
Good points. What types of policies are available?
Absolutely. So there are a myriad of types of life insurance policies. There's term insurance, whole life insurance, index policies. But that's where consumers get a bit overwhelmed. And so that's where I try and create that clarity. So that's when we have the one-on-one conversation. So I don't want you to be overwhelmed by the types of policies. When we have our one-on-one conversation, I can look through your current scenario. What's your budget like? What's your overall financial needs? How much coverage insurance, how much life insurance is going to make an impact for your family? That's the focus that we need to do. So not the type, but let's focus on how much you can consistently afford per month, as well as the coverage amount. That's the most important part of the conversation.
And at what age should someone consider purchasing life insurance?
Young, old, the time is now. Let's get some life insurance today. Because as I asked you earlier, if somebody were to be impacted financially due to your death, you need life insurance. And so if your answer is yes, then young or old, we need to get life insurance. So now we once again look at the budget. Let's find the dollar amount. But also, too, what employer plans do you have? Let's make sure we are enrolling through our employer plans to get as much coverage through there. And then outside the employer, we can add additional life insurance coverage.
So your beneficiaries could use some of the life insurance that you purchased to take care of your final expenses, and there'd be some cushion left over to help them move forward in their life, perhaps buy a house, put money in the bank.
Absolutely. Yes. So let's talk through that piece of it. So life insurance has evolved over the years. So yes, it absolutely is a death benefit, but life insurance also has living benefits. And I'll use myself as an example there, where my policies have a layering effect. So the first layer of coverage, say if I'm ever terminally ill, if I'm confined to a nursing home, or if I have a critical illness, the death benefit is paid to me now while I'm alive. The next layer of coverage says that if anything were to happen to me as the key person of my company, dollars will be paid to my partner to keep my company going. The next layer of my protection says that if anything happens to me when I pass away, that money moves into my trust, and my trustee is going to follow my instructions from my documents to make sure that my beneficiaries get the dollars exactly the way I want them to get it. So I'm controlling that money from the grave. And then the living part of the policy is the cash value part of the policy. And that cash value allows you to access money today from your life insurance, tax-free money. So I can take those dollars today, or I can wait till later on in my retirement. So yes, life insurance is no longer just a death benefit. It has truly evolved over time to give you far more benefits living now, today.
And Shirley Ann, you mentioned a trust, which is another piece of that pie, that puzzle, that I don't think that we think about. A lot of estates end up going to probate and what have you, but it really is about creating that overall financial plan that includes life insurance that also includes a trust.
Yes, and I'm so glad you allowed me to elaborate on that. The trust is that new way that you can really create more control. So I have very specific instructions. So my niece and nephews are part of my beneficiary structure. My charity is part of my beneficiary structure. So I'm now creating the opportunity where, based on how my niece and nephew behave, determines how much money they get. Otherwise, it gets defaulted to the charities that I'm a part of. So you are in control from the grave when you have that life insurance trust.
Whew, so much to think about, but oh, so worth it. And quite honestly, especially when it comes to creating wealth, where can we go for more information?
So yes, it is a lot to think about, and that's why I really recommend that you have the conversation with me. Go to www.prudential.com, and that way you can find me as well as my other colleagues. And also, too, you can go through and see some of the financial calculators that we have that really provide some financial clarity for you so that when we do have the conversation, you're already one step ahead of the game. But it is necessary. www.prudential.com. Find me so we can have that confidential financial conversation.
All right, everyone. Obviously can't take it with you, but you can control it, like Shirley said, from the grave. Hello. And help create that generational wealth. Shirley Ann Robertson's been my guest. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
You bet. I'll be right back.